Social media is often the scapegoat for just about everything wrong in our society. Let's take a closer look at are our youth losing the ability to think? Are you familiar with these terms? Popcorn brain, a mind so conditioned by constant digital stimulation that it can no longer slow down enough to think deeply. AI Slop, mass-produced AI-generated content that conditions viewers to consume information without evaluating. What about brain rot? Oxford Word of the Year in 2024, describing the deterioration of a person's mental and intellectual state from consuming too much trivial online content. Three different terms, one shared concern. They are all pointing towards the same alarming conclusion, that social media is eroding something fundamental in our youth, their ability to think. And not just thinking, but their ability to think critically. By critical thinking, I meant the kind of thinking in which you question, analyze, interpret, evaluate, and make a judgment about what you read, heard, said, or wrote. A recent white paper from researchers at Nanyang Technological University in Singapore interviewed 583 young people aged 13 to 25 and their parents. The results are striking. 68% of youth said social media had reduced their attention span, making it difficult to stay focused even on schoolwork or other tasks requiring sustained concentration. Many described opening an app just for a minute, only to realize hours had passed. One participant said platforms like TikTok had reduced their attention span so much that they struggled to watch even a 1-minute video. And the concern goes beyond distraction. 65% of young people said they worry their screen habits could harm their ability to study or work in the future. According to Professor Gemma Calvert from the same paper, social media platforms are built around dopamine-driven feedback loops, constant notifications, likes, and curated streams of new content designed to keep the user scrolling. These award cycles may gradually reduce our tolerance for the slower, more deliberate thinking required for deep reasoning. If youth are constantly distracted, then surely their ability to think must be deteriorating. This seems to support the conclusion that social media is eroding youth's ability to think critically. But is social media the real reason? When I examined the evidence closely, I found that most studies measured attention, emotional well-being, and academic strain. But that's not the same as measuring critical thinking. There were no reasoning tests, no evaluation of how students analyze argument. From the same NTU white paper, there were a finding that 8 to 10% of students who actively created content reported a completely different experience, greater confidence, new skills, and stronger self-awareness. I have identified 3 other research papers. Chell and colleagues found that critical thinking scores were positively associated for students who used social media with agency. Duterte found a significant positive relationship between purposeful social media use and critical thinking. Last but not least, Galindo Dominguez and colleagues found that the strongest predictor of critical thinking was not screen time at all. It was self-regulation and meta-cognition. Yes, we cannot deny that algorithms shape what they see, reinforcing certain biases and pushing them into echo chambers. Perhaps this is the difference between passive consumption and purposeful usage. I began to ask myself, what is needed for youth to engage with social media critically? Research shows several capabilities that became particularly important in this digital environment. Skills like self-regulation, the ability to manage how we engage with information rather than constantly reacting to notifications. Meta-cognition, being aware of our own thinking and recognizing when we are evaluating information. Source evaluation, checking where information comes from, being able to distinguish facts from opinions. Critical questioning, asking what a claim actually means, what evidence supports it, and what perspective might be missing. These skills support purposeful usage of social media. Working through this EKF actually shifted my own thinking. At the beginning, it was easy to accept the widely repeated claim that social media is negatively impacting young people's critical thinking. But examining the evidence revealed a more nuanced picture. The studies did not show a simple decline in thinking ability. Rather, they showed differences in how young people engage with information. Some scroll passively, others would question, evaluate, create, and reflect. The same digital platform that seems to encourage passive consumption can also become a space for inquiry and learning. I began this investigation asking whether social media was eroding our youth's ability to think, but examining the evidence led me to a different question. Are we equipping them with the skills to question, evaluate, and think critically about what they encounter? That is a question worth looking into.